Hey viewers, Hexcraft here. Before we get started, two things. One, sorry for this video being delayed by a day, has some tech issues, and I'm also working on another video. Hopefully it can be out by next week with the next skin video. The other thing is that, as always, these skins are getting their own video, but also the championship skin is not in this video because Riot's consistency with them coming out with Worlds is kind of and also the Riven ones are supposed to be more rare. So instead of showing something that might not come back for a while, I decided to opt out doing them. Either way, they're meh skins, and there are better skins. So without further ado, let's get into it. It's an interesting base skin. I'll say it's a 5, but at the same time, I do have some complaints. The whole mix of hermit normal clothes plus armor is kind of weird, and for someone who's trying to lay low in the last few lore stories, it's also more weird that she has the shoulder pad because it has the symbol of Noxus on it. I get it, Riot's not going to update the base model for Riven, but still, even in her old lore, she was basically someone who deserted the war. So why does she still wear the symbol of Noxus? This is a small detail that I thought was weird. Honestly, this skin is pretty good. For more or less a special version, I would say this is a enhanced version of what base Riven is. From what I can also find information-wise, this might also be referring to Riven from her original design when she was an exiled Demacian, so I guess this is a good counterpart to Noxian Poppy, where they just swapped fucking cities. It's an alright skin, and I say it is improved the base. So, I give it a 6. This by far is the worst Riven skin. The weapon somehow is even bulkier and jankier looking than just the broken sword. The helmet is goofy. The glove doesn't really match anything else. The shoulder pad and the little scarf cloak is and the skin-tight suit is just weird. And to top it off, this is supposed to be the counterpart to the commando skins, which makes it even worse. It gets a 3. Now at first I thought I was gonna give this skin a low grade because it's just Riven, but funny outfit. But then I noticed they actually changed the colors of the animations to be, an orangey yellow. The actual sword is a carrot. Made of runes at least, but a carrot. And your shield from your E, those are carrots. And again, it's not that bad of a skin. Yes, it is to sell because woman in bunny suit sells, but honestly, I think it's better that they chose a badass warrior with a big sword. It'd only be funnier if it was a guy. So I'll say it's an improvement of the base, so it gets a 6. Honestly, I thought I was going to dislike this skin, but honestly, the model is nice. The sword looks cool. It looks even cooler when you ult with it. And of course, the animations. Honestly, this skin is old, but the red and black smoke effects, I've seen this on the more recent Chinese New Year skins, so it's a nice skin. I would say it's better than a good some of the Chinese New Year skins we have gotten recently, so I gotta give this a 6. Now going into this, I thought to myself that I need to look extremely deep. I need to stare at this arcade skin and find something, because I normally really like the arcade skins and give them praise. So I had to put this one under a lens to make sure I wasn't being biased. And honestly, doing that made me like it even more because of all the small details. Again, besides just some video game references, there are the details in the abilities. W is the button for the directions. Meanwhile, your E dash shows you your more or less action buttons, which are, if you can look closely enough, Q, W, E, and R. Every time you hit someone with your Q, it gives a little hit effect. And the auto attacks even have their own little slash animation. It's a really well done and really good skin. And again, it's weird. I was expecting this to be meh because it's the melee version, but honestly, I think Arcade Riven is one of the better arcade skins. It gets an 8. It's kind of funny. I went into this with high hopes on this skin, but it's more or less okay. The sword in its base form is, well, snubby and simple. The body in the model is alright, and the effects are okay. And when you ult, the sword gets really cool and you turn to Goku for some reason. Yeah, the alternative form, honestly, is probably the bigger issue I have. Everything else is nice and all, but it just feels weird. But it still gets a 7 because the animations and the base model and both versions of the sword. Honestly, it's a nice sci-fi skin. Cool model, cool sword, alright effects, and the one thing I have an issue with is the black effect on the sword during the ultimate. Is that supposed to be there, or is that a texture error? It's hard to tell, and it seems like it should be there, but at the same time, it might not belong there. But at this point, you think if it didn't, Riot would fix it, but then again, it's Riot we're talking about, so yeah. All in all though, it's a nice skin, and I give it a 7. Best thing I can say about this skin is that it reminds me of Mulan. Besides that, honestly feels a bit basic. It really does leave a bit more to desire, and the coolest part is the slash effect from the ult, the shooting of the swords. But also, why does the sword turn into a Stark Guardian and start glowing pink? It confused me during recording, and I questioned if I broke something. But looking back, a lot of her effects also have that sort of pink shimmer to it, even though it appears that the scheme color-wise is red and gold. So yeah, it gets a 6. It's alright. Honestly, with all the Asian skins she has, it feels like Garen. The difference is, it kind of doesn't feel like they went down in quality like Garen's. It kind of feels like they went up in quality every time. Oh, let me rephrase that. It started good, it went eh, and then this one's the best. Spirit Blossom Riven is cool as fuck. Yeah, it's anime as fuck, with heavy inspirations of Sasuke in there, but they're okay. The animations feel strong and cool, and the enhanced version of the sword is amazing to look at. I only wish we got to see more of that spectral armor spirit during her abilities, but besides that, it's a clean skin, it's really good. I give it a 7. Concept-wise, this is a stupid idea. Looks-wise, I hate the fact that I like this. It's a very nice and clean skin. It's very cool looking. The model is really well done. I like the outfit. The sword looks nice. I like how they're able to make a version of her broken sword, but also be a Sentinel weapon. The little spinning shields for her E, well, they're a lot bigger and a lot more noticeable, and feel like they're actually there to be the symbol like, yeah, you're shielding. The W is okay, and I really do like the final Q causing that big mark to slam on the ground. And of course, the sword when you enhance it, more or less just extends. It seems to also gain runes, but it's cool. Reminds me a lot of Elden, honestly. But again, it's a nice skin, and I like it actually. Even though the concept of Sentinel skins are trash, but this skin gets a 7 because it's a good skin. Honestly, again, this is an improvement. Yeah, Battle Bunny was nice and all, but the suit she has in this model, I actually like a lot more than the whole sexy rabbit outfit. I do love how you can see the Animal Squad logo in the W. Little futuristic carrot in the shield E is kind of weird looking, and her Q, but leaves a lot to desire. I will say her sword, when it is enhanced by ultimate, is pretty cool looking, but it does kind of lose the whole carrot look with the rounded tip, I'd say. All in all, this skin is nice and alright. It has a bit to desire, but to be fair, a lot of skins get that feeling nowadays. I give it a 7. There are a lot of Riven skins that have me on the fence, but dear God, this one, I've gone back and forth trying to decide if I like it, if it's okay, or if I hate it. Let's start with the basics. Being more of an expensive skin, it has custom animations, and honestly, I really do like the small details in them. She dashes through the air for her E. She sort of does a reflect kind of parry with her W, and the final strike of her Q is an impaled down with the sword. It's really cool. She also raises her sword up when she ults to transform. But that's one of my issues, is the transformation, because it looks okay, but also part of her model, especially her hair for both versions, feel like it's just Misfortune Star Guardian. The crown looks like something you took from Kale. All in all, the model is nice. The weapon is cool. The animations are really good. It's just this skin doesn't feel good at the same time. Because, well, it's probably the fact that why the fuck did they make a vampire kind of skin line based off stained glass? The stained glass, honestly, is the kind of part that makes the animations and a lot of the part of the skin feel weird to me. But again, the model and I'd say the animations really make up for it. Oh, and also the PNG cape she has, yeah, depending on where you stand, you actually can see where the PNG line ends, actually. That also really sticks out and irks me, because it feels like a skin they took time and made good, but also it feels like they cut corners heavily. I have to give it a 7, because of all the corners they look like they've cut with it that really stick out compared to other corner cutting skins. But I will say, this is probably one of the best of the skins that came out of this skin line, but then again, the ones you compare it to are generic Vampire Vlad skin and what I refer to as the pickle from Monster Hunter during his emo phase. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed. As always, leave a comment down below on what skin you'd like to see. I will try to get to it. Some skins are harder to get to than others for certain champions. Also, next week, I will be doing the most horrid, terrible, and monstrous creature in League of Legends. But don't worry, the following week after that, we're doing Urgot, hopefully. And he's cool. So, hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next time.